Welcome back to Ferocious Education, this is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about PLTR, Palantir. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe, and notifications on. If you would like to watch my previous video, you'll find it in the description below. Nonetheless, this video will give you a bigger picture on Palantir and what's yet to come. Make sure to subscribe and let's jump right into this one. So Palantir here. There is a little bit of a couple of updates since my last video, and I'll give you a bit more perspective. So they're not just a data analytical company, but rather an entire tech company. So let's take a little bit of an overview on some of the news to get a bit of perspective, and I'll go ahead and explain their technology in a second. Palantir and 3M expands relationships to build dynamic supply chain. Palantir and Akin Groups collaborate on legal digital services platform. IBM and Palantir partners to help business easily deploy powerful and open AI applications, unlock valuable data across hybrid cloud environments. Palantir and BP deepens partnership, accelerates energy transition. Palantir Technologies and Rio Tinto signs multi-year enterprise partnership. Palantir issues additional details regarding its inaugural demo day. The list goes on there. For instance, their $22.5 million contracts with Japan and Japan businesses. Shitsu Limited signed $8 million prototype of Army ground station modernization. The list goes on there. FDA partnership with $44 million contract. The NCATS awards Palantir with $36 million contract. And you get to see the amount of money that these folks are dealing with. They're huge. And there's a lot of expectation that this actually continues to grow. It's not a one side thing where it's just going to get a bit of contracts. We're going to go towards their customers in a second. But before doing so, this company has three main technologies: Foundry, Gotham, and Apollo. So Apollo is not getting an exact update. I'll go through that in a second, but Gotham and Foundry, at least the 21 launch, is on their website. So Foundry 21 is the next generation technologies for the next generation of industry. And if you would like a little bit of a build on who they are, you'll have to go in there in products. So Foundry amplifies and extends the power of data integration. Gotham integrates, manages, secures, and analyzes all your enterprise data. And in terms of Palantir Apollo, they power with SaaS. And Gotham here is getting as well an update, so you can go ahead and check their website. Gotham is an AI-ready platform that improves and accelerates decisions for operators at every echelon and every domain: land, sea, airspace, and cyber. In terms of Foundry, it's more regarding data analytics. I believe it's also, automated, etc. with different industries. So I think it's a really nice technology. Foundries connect intelligence to operations developed in crisis when time matters most. Foundry automates years of implementation work so that you can start operating smarter the right way. And going on towards their presentation. So one of the latest news that we already covered: launch a partnership with IBM to integrate with IBM Cloud Park for data and IBM's 2,500 person sales force. Moving on, upgrades to software becomes upgrades to our customer businesses, and diving just a tad there for Apollo, one of the 4 SAS in the DoD Impact Level 5 for mission critical information national security systems, and blazing trail of Level 6. Now the Foundry 21 enables fully modular, and so you can take what you need and leave what you don't, right? So build on what you have. Support defined data integration. No code apps for production grade AI in hours, AI infused applications, archetypes deployed business using cases in just a few clicks, and mobile offering. Customer update. So you get to see here they have 482 million in revenue from commercial customers in 2020 and 44% of the total revenue. In 2020, they generated 107% revenue growth from their US customer base, and in Q4 2020, they signed several large deals across automotive, energy, healthcare, insurance, mining, shipping, and more, including as well government. They also signed multi-year contract with Rio Tinto, improves results in safety and costs, and this again brings other mining companies or mining operations eyes on Palantir and how they can actually benefit their entire company itself. And they signed significant expansions with a Fortune 50 health company to support their contract managements and already generated more than $50 million in annualized value. Expand to work with their BP to power net zero emission corporate strategy. And the list goes on. This presentation is actually quite lengthy. and I think kind of gives you a bit of perspective on who they are as a general. Now, the Gotham 21 launch adds an AI-enabled mission command, real-time streaming sensors for AI models, deployed at the edge on the vehicles, aircrafts, ships around the world, distributed mesh, and is resilient to network failures. And for the customer update there, you have $610 million in government revenue just in 2020, and 56% of the total revenue. And I think, yeah, we don't need to spend more time here, so we can move on towards, is there any updates there other than that in terms of institutional buyers? Institution seems to be a little bit active, well, actually a lot active there. I get to see that a lot of these companies are adding, and even just looking into this one here, you get to see that in terms of the insiders, they've been selling, but not selling at a big amount. So I wouldn't really care about this. Some of them are they're selling in the lowest thousands. I mean, back in 22nd of February, Long Matthew converted 220,000 shares and just sold them. It's a way for these guys to get paid. It's not that they want to hold the stock, etc. They just don't really care about it. Not that they don't care about the stock, they want their money. So a lot of them, these are bonuses, etc. Things are normal. So the next thing here is announcement on Palantir on Friday that its new enterprise resource planning ERP systems with Amazon incorporations, cloud with services platforms, Amazon Web Services, and will be available to all AWS customers. And so the Palantir's ERP suite is optimized to run on AWS to assist customers with data integration and analysis. The suite has already been adopted by a number of enterprises, and including BP and Lanxess, to enable significant cost saving within weeks, Palantir said in its blog. Now, for me, that is huge because it enables the access to more customer recognition from all these enterprises that might have not gotten exposure to what Palantir is. And there's also news about ARK Investment adding towards their position, and a lot of people follow that fund, adding on Palantir and adding more. And things are looking a bit bullish, or actually a lot bullish for this one on the news perspective for the longer term. And then just before we end here in terms of the due diligence update, in terms of the quarter four, they expect and a little bit off what their expectations for quarter one. So for $1.1 billion in revenue for the total year of 2020, that's up 47% year over year, and $322 million in quarter four 2020, which is 40% year over year. They have new contracts for the fourth quarter in 2020 with all these different companies, and they expect quarter one revenue growth to be 45% year over year. So that gives you a little bit of perspective on what their bit of the outlook seems to be. Year over year growth of the outlook for the full 2021 year, the outlook there is around 30%. And we can go ahead and try to look into the technical analysis now. If you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. It helps my channel a lot. If you would like to join our Discord server, you can ask me more questions, clarifying things, or just generally during the trading day, you can chat with me. It's over there, it's totally free. Now, on a one-day perspective, on the technical analysis, we get a bit of good news here. So yes, the moving averages are bearish, and that is also due to a massive slip, but really it's just been accumulating, as you get to see here. It wasn't really much of a tank. Yes, it did tank on Friday towards $220 and bounced right back, but to be fair, a lot of these stocks did that on Friday. Now, in terms of the ADX, it shows a bit more of a sloppy movement. Willing percent R is somewhere around neutral, tending a little bit close to overbought because of this massive bounce. We're going to ignore that. MACD looks like it's actually attempting a positive reversal, and that positive reversal is going to be tested next week. So that's massive. Momentum here, you get to see it's actually creeping up towards the zero and looking to get its position back above that zero level. On a 2-hour perspective, you get to see the MACD is actually gone into a positive histogram, but everything else really shows a little bit sloppy. ADX shows a possibility of a small possibility for trend forming. In terms of William percent R, it shows overbought, and momentum is flirting there with the zero. But in terms of the MACD, it looks like it's a little bit stable there. Nothing eventful happening on the 2-hour compared to the 1 day. In terms of the moving average bands, you get to see this one is expected to trade 31.28 in the top, 28.43 in the bottom, and 25.59. Now the Bollinger bands are 37.58 on the top and 19.29 on the bottom. So theoretically, you can expect this one to drop all the way to 20 again, but things are looking that they might be testing that reversal. And we need to look at supports and resistances. And stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both telling you, hey, this might actually be a really good opportunity to go ahead and buy this thing. It looks like it might be on the cusp of that reversal. In terms of Fibonacci retracements, we get to see 2271, as a support, the next one 1744 and 891 as the one on the bottom. Current resistances on the Fibonacci retracements are 2698, 3124, 3732, and 4505. Comes in towards, let's check here quick price line actions for supports. We get to see the current one sits at 2316, 2112, 1808 or 1801, 1660, going down to 1439, and then 1120, I would say. Significant resistances are a few: 2508, 2735, 2921, 3114, and then going up to 3572, and then to 3832, and I would say to $40, 45. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one in terms of a trend, or for instance, any kind of trend line or channel that I would draw? None would actually still hold. When it comes to the question to, well, yeah, what do I think about this one? Long term, if you're leaving this for retirement, you most likely will benefit. Almost, it's a no-brainer. But if you're looking to trade this might be actually a really good opportunity to buy somewhere around, let's say, the 22 sessions there. Now, we just got the stimulus bill accepted or approved, so you might not even be able to get that, but I would like to see it to stay above 17, 18 bucks. This is one of these companies that, even if it does dip beyond your entry point, it's still a good company to invest in and long on. If you're trading, then there's risks, and it is primed for a bounce. So I would definitely, it's almost a no-brainer for me to long it in terms of a long term. If you're shorting, be very careful, because you're on the edge of a very strong support. And if it does break and it doesn't hold that $22 or $22.65, you might want to consider to lower your position or try to hedge your own position with an option. But what do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. Have a wonderful day.